evening. Welcome to the Gary Common Council meeting for May the 19th. I'm Linda Barnes Caldwell, Councilwoman of the 5th District. Welcome. At this time, oh, we'll have an invocation by Councilman Washington.
Thank you, Madam President. Dear Lord Heavenly Father, let the words of our mouth, the meditations of our heart, Lord, let them be acceptable in your sight for the building of Gary, Indiana. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty for all.
Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Councilwoman Brown. Councilman Halliburton.
Present.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Present.
Councilwoman Latham.
Present.
Councilman Tolliver.
Present.
Councilman Washington.
Present.
Councilman Winsington.
Present.
Councilman Williams. President Caldwell.
Present.
Madam President, there are 7 present, 2 absent.
With a vote of, with a count of 7 present, 2 absent, we have quorum to conduct the business for the city of Gary. May I get a motion for approval of the previous minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Do we have any corrections on them or anything? No? Okay. Hearing none, the minutes stand approved. Roll call.
Councilman Halliburton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Latham.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Councilman Winsington.
Yes.
And President Caldwell.
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 7-0.
With a vote of 7-0, the minutes from the previous meeting have been approved. Assignments. Oh, yeah. May I have a motion to suspend the rules and add CPO 2026-17 and 2026-18?
Second.
We have a motion to suspend the rules and accept CPO 2026-17 and 18. Roll call.
Councilman Halliburton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy. Councilwoman Latham.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Councilman Winsington.
Yes.
And President Caldwell.
Yes.
Madam President, vote is 7-0.
With a vote of 7-0, CPO 2026-17 and 2026-18 has been assigned to the agenda. Assignments of pending ordinances.
CPO 2026-17, an ordinance establishing additional appropriations in the Police Donations Fund, sponsored by Mayor Eddie Melton, City of Gary, Shanika Beck, Controller, Gary Police Department.
Ways and Means.
CPO 2026-18, an ordinance revising the 2026 Finance Department General Salary Budget, sponsored by Mayor Eddie Melton, City of Gary, Shanika Beck, Controller.
Ways and Means.
Madam President, that ends assignment of pending ordinances and resolutions.
Councilman.
Madam President, the Ways and Means Committee has before it CPO 2026-18 and CPO 2026-19. For the record, I approve these ordinances report out to council. 17, excuse me. CPO 2026-17 and CPO 2026-18. For the record, I approve these ordinances report out to the council. President Caldwell,
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Madam President, Majority Ways and Means Committee approves CPO 2026-17, 2026-18 for reporting out to council.
All right. We would like to acknowledge Councilman Williams has joined the meeting.
Madam President, Majority of the Ways and Means Committee approves CPL 2026-17, CPL 2026-18 for reporting out to the council.
Thank you. Good evening. This evening, the Gary Common Council has joined together by wearing green to recognize Mental Health Awareness Month. May it's a time to fight stigmas, provide support, and educate the public about mental health. Founded by Mental Health America in 1949, this annual campaign reminds us that mental health is just as important as physical health and overall well-being. It also encourages individuals to seek help and support for conditions such as anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges. Together, we can continue to raise awareness, promote understanding, and support those in need. At this time, we'll go into special and select. And we have a special presentation this afternoon. Compliments of Councilwoman Latham. Fanae Croft, LCPC, is a licensed psychotherapist and founder of SAVE Mental Health and Wellness, a psychotherapy and personal development practice offering culturally responsive, trauma-informed care. Licensed in Illinois and Indiana, Fanae provides therapy and wellness support for individuals, families, and organizations with a focus on anxiety, stress, identity, life transitions, and emotional well-being. Through therapy, workshops, and training, she helps communities normalize conversations around mental health and access practical tools for healing and growth. Ms. Croft.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you giving me a few moments of your time during Mental Health Awareness Month. It's a very important subject, at least I think so. Again, my name is Fanae Croft. I have a private practice based in Illinois. I work with people, organizations in Illinois and Indiana. And I just want to talk to you for a few seconds about mental health awareness and why it matters. So mental health is a part of our everyday life, right? At least that's what I believe. But it's oftentimes not really dealt with or talked about until a crisis happens. Sometimes there can be a stigma around mental health that says, once someone needs to be institutionalized or things have gotten really out of hand. That's when we pause and say, okay, now I need to get help. But what happens before that? And I think mental health awareness is about bringing that forward, and it has become a #1 health concern. Most, I'm going to say, the stat by the World Health Organization says that 75% of hospital visits are due to stress that's motivating or exacerbating an underlying condition. So mental health is really important. It impacts how we lead, how we communicate, how we make decisions. And that awareness matters because you need to recognize when the support might be needed. Reduce the shame and stigma. There are so many of us who grew up in communities that say you keep your personal business to yourself. You don't take things outside the house. You keep them in the house. And there's a shame around going and talking with someone, whether it's a counselor, a pastor, a friend. Encouraging earlier care is really important when it comes to mental health, and I'm going to talk a bit more about some of what the concerns can look like, because we don't understand how our challenges with our mental and emotional health bridge out to a lot of the issues and the challenges that we face. Cardiovascular health, for example, is really underpinned by stress and our body's response to stress, constant stress. It strengthens our workplaces, our families, our communities when we can open up that dialogue and have a conversation around mental health versus it being this thing that needs to hang out in the shadows and we feel like we can't talk about. So I'm wondering, when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, is this something that you can recognize? Raise your hand if you're able to recognize it. When you feel stressed, overwhelmed, worried. I see some people raise their hands and some people who... Oh, I'm sorry, you can't hear me? Okay. There we go. It moves. You can hear me better? Okay. All right, great. So, mental health concerns. We're talking about what they look like. And I asked who knew when they're feeling stressed, who knows when they're overwhelmed. We got a few hands. Some people may not have raised your hand, and some of us may not know because it's become a part of life. We've gotten used to feeling angry. We think it's just a part of who we are. Or we say, oh, I get headaches a lot. That's just me. Or I can tend to be irritated. You know how I am. Really, that might be how you're carrying stress. It might be your mental health or your emotional well-being that really needs to be checked in on and served. So some of the ways we see it, and I'm teasing these things out so that we can figure out what our ground zero is, because we all have a ground zero. A ground zero is when we feel neutral. We feel relatively good. We're not stressed. Maybe we're not worried. We're not excited or happy, but we have a nice even keel. As Dr. Maya Angelou says, we don't pick nothing up and we don't put nothing down. We're just right here in the middle. So many of us have left that a long time ago that we don't even know what our ground zero is. So some of the things we can look out for that might be a sign of stress, anxiety, grief, depression, trauma, burnout, when we're feeling overwhelmed or on edge, if we're angry, if we notice our admin who's usually cheery and always has time and space for everyone, but this week she's kind of to herself. She's not really talking to anybody. That can be a sign. Maybe something's going on there. Our sleep is off. We're fatigued. Changes in appetite. Maybe once upon a time you were a person who, you ate relatively well. You weren't the worst. In the last few years, that's kind of gone out the window. That can be a sign that we're not handling our stress, our emotions, as well as maybe we need to be. And these can cause strain in the workplace, in our communities, in our relationships for sure. So here's a simple way to check in with yourself or check in with your communities and your constituents. We want to increase that mental health awareness. So first we got to notice it, and it takes it back to that ground zero. What's ground zero? How do I feel when I'm neutral? So that I can notice when something's off. Is my mood different? Am I sleeping? Am I not sleeping? Is my energy low? Am I motivated? What's happening with my behavior? Because what happens is these things change, and it starts with a small change. And before we know it, we're a different version of ourselves. and we think it's just life, but it's really how we're managing or not managing our personal, mental health, and emotional well-being. So we want to be able to name it. And so the question that you want to ask yourself is, how am I feeling? And this is a question you can ask those in your communities, those you work with, your constituents. How are you feeling? I ask this question all the time because when you ask somebody how they're doing, they say, oh, I'm fine, I'm good. And everybody moves on. But when you ask the question, how are you feeling? Most of the time, someone might say, I think I'm good. Because we don't know how we feel. We never check in enough with ourselves to know how we feel. So when I ask someone, well, how you feeling? And they say, oh, I think I'm okay. I'm like, well, you told me what you were thinking. You didn't tell me how you were feeling. And usually it'll cause the person to pause for a second. And that pause and that knowing can really help you. That helps increase that awareness around, well, how am I feeling? Maybe I'm just feeling very sad. Maybe I'm overwhelmed. Maybe I'm tired. And the challenge is with many of us, especially us who serve, we disregard ourselves all the time. It's very easy to disregard how we're feeling for the sake of what we got to do or who we feel like we need to show up for. But if we don't make ourselves a priority, it's going to be really hard to serve from an empty cup. Okay? So once you figure out how you're feeling, the next step is you want to nurture. What do you need to do? How do you support that sadness? When's the last time you scheduled in fun for yourself? When did you put it on a list of things to do to take care of yourself? Do something that brings you some joy or gives you some energy. Then navigate it. Who and what can help you move forward? That could be a therapist. It could be a doctor. Maybe it's health, support group, even a friend. So often we hold these things in and we just move by them when really our emotions and mental health matters. What we don't realize is maybe aside from sleeping, eating, the vast majority of everything you do is for the sake of an emotion. You're here right now for the sake of an emotion. Whether it's to lean into one, to distance yourself from one. The emotion could be you have a feeling you want to serve. You want to make things better. You care about progress that's important to you and what you believe about yourselves and others. That's an emotion, and they're always there with us. We have this saying that says, oh, she's so emotional, or I'm not emotional at all, when really all of us are, everyone is. Some people might be dysregulated, so their emotions are running them, and some of us are numbed out as it relates to emotions. But some of these check-ins can help us to develop that emotional intelligence we hear about, and it starts with us. And the better we get with ourselves, the better we can help others. That's really all I had to say. Again, my practice is Salve Mental Health and Wellness. We help individuals and corporations navigate mental health through therapy, workshops, etc. We serve teens through adults, and we serve Illinois and Indiana. So if you wanted to contact me or my organization, my information is there. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to chat with me after. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam President. First, want to say congratulations to Councilman Darrell Washington and Councilman Dwight Williams for their recent successes. I'm gonna miss y'all both. It's definitely a pleasure sitting between both of y'all. So I just want to say congratulations, well deserved, and continue to fight the good fight. With that, I do want to highlight something that occurred that night that was very disheartening to me: the lack of voter engagement. Um, just in full transparency, we see what's happening at the federal level taking place, especially the past 48 hours of reparations for what happened January 6th. This is not the opinion of the Gary Common Council. This is just me speaking to what's happening politically in our environment. When 15% shows up, you're giving away 85% of your power, if not more. We need to be engaged. That was roughly $8 to $9 million ingested outside of the state of Indiana to local elections here. That being stated, your voice is being stripped from you. I hear a lot of people saying, I have lack of faith in leadership, therefore I don't vote. Well, here's the deal. I'm not going to come at you for that. Instead, I'm going to make you ultimatum. If you're not going to vote, don't spend a single dollar outside of this city. And I mean that. Because what you're going to get to the point of realizing is your investment in your hometown is going to be taken from you. You could see yourself being like Hobart, to where you're not actively engaged, and the next thing you know, you have a data center across from your house. It's not okay to merely sit on Facebook and complain about lack of faith when you're not showing up. Do something. And I know it's the younger generation, I get it. But to the grandparents, the parents, don't give your grandchild $20 to go out if they never registered to vote. I can't, as from a city official in the city here, we can't impose any type of exchange to get people to vote. We cannot exchange monetary, of any gifts, of no sort. But to our local citizens, ask your kids to vote. Your grandchildren. Before they come over and they get a plate on Christmas, show me your voter registration. Something. That's the only way we're going to change this. So again, I want to say congratulations, as we definitely need more support. And to our citizens, it's going to take all of us. So thank you, I appreciate you. And congratulations again.
Councilman Tolliver?
Yes, I just wanted to thank all the schools that showed up to the brunch of Future Leaders on last week. I also want to thank the Gary Common Council for their support. It was definitely a collective effort. Definitely big shouts out to our president that showed up, our Dwayne Halliburton in the second district, and then first district, Lori Latham. Thank you so much for your support, and Marion Ivy for all that she did for the event too in the fourth district. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Our students really, really enjoyed that experience. To Councilman Winningston's point, we do need the youth to vote. And I think that the steps that we are taking to make sure they feel involved in the process and bringing them to the table will push them to want to vote. We have to remember this is their city too. So we have to take the right accommodations to make sure that we're including them in this process, because our city is definitely moving in a different direction. All right? Thank you so much.
Councilwoman Latham?
Colleagues, you all have on your desk a bag from CARE, which is the Crisis Alternative Response Group in Evanston. Back in February, Councilman Halliburton and I went to Evanston and learned about their crisis alternative response, mobile mental health response, as well as responding to police calls that probably don't need police. When folks are just telling on their neighbors if your music is too loud, rather than making that a 911 or a police call. This group is a group that responds. And with so many, I think of our whole country is in a mental health crisis. It's a pandemic, and calling on our police or adding the burden of adding this burden to our police department can be irresponsible. So learning more about these community response units and these mobile mental health response teams are important. So you have a bag and some tchotchkes inside the bag just to raise your awareness about that. I may not be the last one to announce this, but the City of Gary Household Hazardous Waste Collection event and Waste and Environmental Stewardship Day will be held on Saturday, May 30th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Hudson Campbell Sports and Fitness Center at 455 Massachusetts Street. Also, in the first district, So many people enjoy coming out and looking at our murals on Lake Street. Well, they are all getting a refresh this Saturday and Sunday, or I'm sorry, next month, Saturday and Sunday, June the 13th and 14th from 1 to 6 p.m. Come out, celebrate the art of Lake Street, and experience 2 days of live mural painting with the artists of CISA as they create new work on Old Miller Avenue. There'll be live music by Mono Soul and DJ Trino. And you can watch 2 nationally recognized crews, the Midwest Masters and ATT, as well as Miller Beach artist Grace Kupchak at work creating the new art in Miller. For more information on this, you can check out millerbeachsarts.org. millerbeacharts.org. Last one. We're inviting everybody out to a community town hall on Green Steel. I'm the 3rd generation of my family in Gary. I never had to work in the mill. My grandparents did. My father did. So much of my life depended on steel workers and steel making. I'm sometimes embarrassed by how little I know about steel making, the industry, and the process, as well as the future or the modernization. I know so little. I want to invite everybody out to learn more about what built our town and what hopefully will fuel our comeback. The date is on Thursday, May 28th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Gary Public Library, which is located at 220 West 5th Avenue. There's going to be a free community dinner at 5 p.m. and then the event starts at 6, so you can come hungry. But it's entitled Our Meal, Our Future, a community town hall on clean steel. The future of Gary Works is being decided right now, and we deserve a seat at the table. So join your neighbors, ask questions, and make your voices heard. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Anyone else? Go ahead.
Madam President, good evening, everyone. Since the last meeting, a lot of death occurred, particularly those from West Side. I just wanted to acknowledge those. Kenneth Holmes from the class of 1983 passed away. And also the gentleman, Mr. Carlton L. Guthrie, the valedictorian at West Side, the class of 1970. He was a founder of the Gary Alumni Pathway Students, GAPS, from West Side. He also went to Harvard and became the cum laude as he graduated from there with economics and degree management. He was also influenced with Mary Karen Freeman of going to Harvard. So he was very influenced of her decision to go to Harvard. He was a great man. He also had patents with Detroit motor parts. Matter of fact, his first wife was my professor at IUN, and one day I was doing research on him and did not know the connection until he was listed in Forbes. So I came the next day and said, Miss Guthrie, you didn't tell me something about you. And it was a very interesting moment at that time. But we give our condolences to those two. A good friend of mine by the name of Troy Scott, he made his transition as well. His memorial service will be held Friday, September 29th at 10 o'clock at the Dean and Barbara White Community Center. Thank you very much.
September?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's May. May 30th. May 29th. I'm sorry. May 29th is Friday. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman, you heard something else?
My apologies. Thank you, Madam President. I forgot to thank my dear friend, Fanae Croft, for joining us tonight and celebrating and raising awareness for mental health. She's also a 1997 graduate of Westside. Thank you so much for being here. Also, the beach is open, so I want to invite everybody out to the First District. Come cool off. We're supposed to have some 80-degree weather, so join us on Friday for Memorial Day. The beach will be open, so join us on Friday at the beach. Thank you, Madam President. Thank you.
Anyone else? No? Okay. M. Salita Green. Come on up. Come on up. Who wants to? Everybody? Come on. Gary Common Council hereby honors and recognizes M. Salita Green for her extraordinary service, exemplary leadership, and unwavering dedication to the financial stewardship of the city of Gary. The Gary Common Council extends its sincere gratitude and appreciation for your many years of commitment to advancing fiscal responsibility and strengthening the financial foundation of the city of Gary. Be it further proclaimed that the city of Gary proudly congratulates M. Salita Green upon her retirement and expresses its deepest appreciation for the lasting impact of your services, wishing you continued happiness, health, and success in your future endeavors. Thank you. We love you.
Thank you so very much. It's an honor to receive this acknowledgement. I'm very grateful, and I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity given to me by Mayor Melton to serve as the city controller during this administration. And it was indeed a privilege to serve as the financial catalyst between the Common Council and the city administration. And I wish each of you in your capacities blessings abundantly and infinite continued success in all of your endeavors as public servants for the city of Gary and all of its citizens. Thank you so much.
We need a picture with her. Yeah. Ms. Green? We need a picture. Uh-huh. Come up here with us. Come on up here. Mhm. You wanna do that one?
For me.
Okay. Okay.
My girl got a boat out there in Hamilton. My girl got a boat in Hamilton.
Please join the Black Labor Week Project and the Gary Common Council for Juneteenth celebration. This will be June the 19th at the Roosevelt Pavilion at 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is a free event, so tell your friends and family, please come out and celebrate. I would like to congratulate Councilman Kenneth Wissington on receiving the Community Service Award from the Pathways to Adventure Council of Scouting America. He was honored a couple weeks ago with that award, and it was exciting to be there and to help him celebrate. So congratulations. Okay. Please join Councilwoman Caldwell and the 5th District Community Meeting Wednesday, June the 10th at 5:30 at the Roosevelt Pavilion. Our special guests will be Jackie Collins and LaTanya Spearman. We'll be discussing property assessments. And the City of Gary, once again, Household Hazardous Waste Collection Event, Saturday, May the 30th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I think that's, no. Okay, yes, sir.
Just tell everybody that baseball season has started. The Real Cats are 2-1, and we need to make sure we go out there and support them. The team looks totally different. We got a new scoreboard. Things is looking better, so let's make sure we go out there and support the home team. All right.
All right. Now we'll have public comment. We have several names down. 2 minutes. Our first person is John Allen, Jim Nowacki, Carolyn McCready, Natalie Ammons, and Doreen Carey, in that order. Councilman, you got 2 minutes? Okay.
Good evening. I brought this box with me this evening, and I filled it up with sanitation bills. And I'm one man. I was able to accumulate almost 500, a little 500 by myself, by just talking to people through email and knocking on doors about late sanitation bills. Majority of these bills are less than 90 days old. So the GSD is very well capable of, and they are in compliance with sending bills out to homeowners within 20 days of being 60 days past due. That's the purpose of me presenting this box. But the box also tells another story. If I'm capable of one man to deliver 500 or more, we have a late bill epidemic. A significant amount of our public feel that if I don't pay my bill, the property owner has to absorb the bill anyway, so they just simply not paying. Many of those bills are not very high in number, and that's what gives me that prerequisite to that conclusion. Moreover, I'm here to support the idea of the Gary County Council using this authority under the statute to prohibit liens on owners' properties for third-party bills other than their own. Unlike this council had been previously told, the statute will allow the GSD to go after the owners for the bills, just not lien their property, because the liening of the property violates the Constitution of the United States. Code 36.9 provides authority for municipalities to recover unpaid sewer charges, including collection actions, civil remedies. In addition, Indiana small claim courts already exist precisely for these types of disputes. If the council does not do this, and it's to their discretion whether they're not, so I don't want any misunderstanding about what I'm saying, it creates economic harmful consequences for the people of Gary. The landowners will simply, like myself, if I want $1,100 a month, I'm going to ask for 12 in case I get stuck with a bill. It's going to punish the people who pay on time. They're going to pay extra $1,200 a year for nothing. Or we may heighten the ability to rent. Thank you.
Madam President, my name is Jim Nowacki. I live in the 2nd District, and I'm so appreciative and grateful for the service that Ms. Green has given the city over her many years, and I certainly appreciate it and join with the council in congratulating her with this award. I came to the city 27 years ago. When I came to Gary, the city of Gary was the 5th largest city in the state. For the last census, Gary had been the 10th largest city in the state. Over the last 6 years, Gary has risen to the 13th largest city in the state. And I mean that to be humorous because going from 10 to 13 is not a good thing for the city. We've gone from 10th place before the last census to the most recent census data, now 13th. Now, there's probably some good reasons for that, and I don't think we should be disheartened by those numbers. But I think there's a correlation between some of the things that we do in the city that causes many people not to want to come to our city or to move out. For instance, the state data shows that Gary has the highest tax rate, property tax rate, in the entire state. Could the council take that to mean that that's a good thing that we have the highest tax rate? No, we should probably be cautious about that, because the next city behind us is only 1,000 votes behind, 1,000 people behind us, and as we're going down, they're going up. So I would expect next year, I'll be at this podium reminding the council that we've gone from 13th to 14th largest city in the state. Something you can take into consideration. Whatever you're doing,
Thank you, Mr.
stop
Nowacki.
doing it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm not sure exactly what Jim just talked about, but it's all right. I would like to comment on Mr. Allen's comments about this issue of the sanitary district. It is my understanding that state law regulates what happens and who ultimately has to pay for unpaid sanitary district bills. And unless state law has been overturned, I believe that that is still in place. And I'm not aware that the sanitary district is in violation of the state law that says that when a bill is overdue, that the tenant is supposed to be notified, and also the landlord. And if the bill doesn't get paid, that the landlord is responsible as a matter of last resort. Whatever that means. I don't know if it automatically means a lien on a property. I'm not sure. But I do know that when, in past years, when the law wasn't followed, the sanitary district ended up with having owed to them millions of dollars of unpaid bills. And so, in order to bring a little economic justice to that situation, they started implementing the state law that regulates who's going to pay what. Somebody has to pay that bill. And I guess the largest number of people that aren't paying are tenants and not homeowners. So there is definitely a problem with people not paying their bills. But I don't understand continuing to talk about it when it is, in fact, a state law. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Natalie Ammons, and I reside in the 2nd District. And I'm going to pair this conversation with what Ms. Croft said earlier. During the past few weeks, we've had several on-air conversations with individuals who are upset about the open carry gun law that was implemented by the state of Indiana. Since July 1, 2022, permitless open carry has resulted in more people exercising their freedoms allowed under the law. Now, I understand that. I get that. I stand before you tonight to ask the City Council to consider an ordinance implementing measures that help people feel safe and comfortable in their surroundings, even though this law does exist. Many residents are fearful and uneasy. Despite restrictions, individuals come to gas stations, retail establishments such as Walmart and other public locations as spaces to openly display weapons as though they control the environment. When business owners or customers ask these individuals to be removed, the common response is, it's a law and there's nothing that we can do about it. As a result, many people appear cautious or hesitant about shopping, while others simply leave and choose not to return. We urgently need to find ways to establish standards within our community that allow people to feel secure without fear, without discomfort or disruption. One possible solution is encouraging property owners to notify visitors that firearms are not permitted in their establishment. Compliance with these requests should be mandatory. If we welcome out-of-town guests or individuals who may already struggle with fear or mental distress, we must ask ourselves whether people seeing openly carried firearms makes them feel safe or welcome. Property owners must have the legal right to establish their own firearm policies. Businesses may prohibit firearms by posting signage from the city that says no guns, signage, or asking the individual to carry a weapon to leave. Compliance is required. Failure to comply could result in criminal trespass. Let's check the laws. This statement is not intended to suggest or imply a violation of anyone's right to open carry as permitted by the state of Indiana. Rather, it's meant to communicate a simple truth. The visible
Thank you
presence
so
of
much.
firearms can make others feel uncomfortable and unsafe.
Thank you.
And I'm moving here, but I want you to understand how serious this is.
Yes,
Please.
ma'am.
We need
Thank
to
you.
talk about it.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. Good evening to the council and to members of the audience. And I'd just like to follow up on Councilwoman Latham's announcement about the Our Mill, Our Future Community Town Hall on clean steel or green steel. And it will be next Thursday, starting at 5 with a dinner that's free, and then following up with a community meeting where we're asking people to come in and give their opinion and state if they have concerns or their experience with living, their family or them living or working in the steel mill. It's important for people to begin to think about what's going to happen with U.S. Steel. Nippon has bought U.S. Steel, Gary Works, and all of U.S. Steel's properties around the country. And in fact, they've made a commitment to invest $3.1 billion in Gary Works. They are also building a brand new steel mill in Arkansas, Big River. And it's a non-union mill, and it's modern and cleaner than Gary Works. So we would like Nippon to come and talk to us about their plans for the future of Gary Works, because we'd like to stay in town, continue to support the city, make us more sustainable and cleaner for this generation of people and the next. So thank you, and that's for next Thursday, 5 at the Gary Main Public Library. All are welcome. Thank you.
We'd like to thank you all for your comments. We'd like to send a special shout out, happy birthday to Councilman Darren Washington. Yeah.
Keep
Birthday
going.
coming up.
Where the cake? Where the cake?
Okay. At this time, we'll consider ordinance and resolutions on third reading.
CPO 2026-16, an ordinance amending chapters 103, 107, 121, and 123 of the municipal code of the city to a unified development ordinance, sponsored by Mayor Eddie Melton, City of Gary, Planning and Zoning Department of Gary City Plan Commission.
Councilman Washington. Had you? Your mic not on. Mike?
Make a motion for approval of council pending ordinance 2026-16. Is there a second?
It's been motioned and second, CPO 2026-16. Move for passage overview.
Ms. Sharp?
Good evening, counselors. I'm
Good e-
for-
Ms. Sharp, is this an amendment to
Is there an
this?
amendment to this?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
There is an amendment. It is on the front page of your ordinance. At the very bottom line, section 3, it states that this ordinance shall be in full force and effect on August 1st, 2026. So it establishes a date for this to go in full force, and then this will align with a new zoning map, which will hopefully go in full effect on the same date.
Madam President, I make a motion to amend by substitution.
Second.
Second. We have a motion and seconded to amend by substitution. Roll call.
Councilman Halliburton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Latham?
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver?
Yes.
Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Councilman Winston?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
President Caldwell.
Yes.
Madam President, vote is 8-0.
With a vote of 8-0, CPO 2026-16 has been amended.
with me this evening is Plan Commission President Tom Sarah. And before I get started, maybe President Sarah can give a few short words on how this process went through the Plan Commission and how their favorable vote came out.
Only if you and Mr. Chairman speak into the mic so everybody can hear.
I could do that. Am I close enough? Can you
Yes,
hear me
sir.
now?
Thank you.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to commend the planning and zoning staff. They did an amazing job. A lot of work that went into this. Every single parcel was considered for this this ordinance, and there were public hearings. There were a lot of input from the public. We had those at Marquette Park and elsewhere, in the library. So I don't know. I spoke at the initial meeting on this, and I just wanted to emphasize the good work that the staff did and the public input that was included in this. And I commend you for what you're doing to pass this. And I think June 4th, we will be doing the zoning map. Remind me where that is. At the Railcats suite level. So we want to be on time for that August rollout for this, or passage. So thank you again for everything.
Thank you, President Sarah. Thank you. As President Sarah mentioned, we do have an aligned ordinance that will come before you shortly. It will be for a new updated zoning map that will correlate with this UDO. UDO stands for Unified Development Ordinance. This is because we are combining the zoning ordinance and the subdivision control ordinance. Also in this ordinance is the chapters 103, 107, 121, and 123 that were previous separate ordinances in the city. We are all combining those. For example, the airport zone is now part of this UDO. We presented in front of council committee and were able to make several long presentations around this new code. The purpose of this code is to become efficient in our communication and enhance our regulations around development standards. We have added lighting standards, landscape standards, parking standards that were formerly not a part of this code. So hopefully with, if you were to adopt this code this evening, we can work towards a beautiful Gary.
Any questions?
Thank you, Madam President. I thought about you all today as I was driving through my neighborhood. There's already a yard sign that is protesting one lot being split into two. And I know when we discussed this ad nauseum, we talked about how important new zoning regulations were to help us increase density, to help us deal with some of the issues Mr. Nowacki even talked about today with our declining population. I'm wondering though, do you have something that we can say to neighbors defending our progress in the zoning code when they remonstrate against some of the changes that we've made? How would you defend it?
I actually just drove past that that sign today, and when we establish a new code, that instance that you're referring to is at the corner of Ash Place and Montgomery, where they want to split a single-family lot into two lots. It goes before the Plan Commission on Thursday at their regular meeting. We have a dedicated plat process that allows individuals to petition to split their lots. Our new code also establishes very strict development standards. For instance, we have a minimum lot width size, we have a minimum house size, we have minimum setback sizes. Part of this was to encourage our existing 25-foot lots to become developable again. In the former code, we had large lot standards, and it put a barrier around developing on our small lots. So when we look at our standards like this, we evaluate requests to split lots to make sure that they are meeting the development standards. In that instance, in that case, they were meeting the standards of the old code, which is where we're operating under today. Under today's code, it would have different regulations.
Yes, I want to point out that the prior ordinance was done like with text, and the staff actually made charts, very easy to read. So if you have a, whatever your lot size is and what you want to do, it's all spelled out, Councilman Lathan. It's very, very clear in the new ordinance.
Also, just a big thank you to the staff. This has been, I know how, I can imagine how heavy of a lift this is. This is something that has been needing to be done in our city for a long time. So thank you very much to the staff. Thank you for the way this whole process went, to our chair of planning and development, taking the time over a number of committee meetings to walk us through the new code. Just chef's kiss for how all of this was handled. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Madam President.
Any other? Yes.
Thank you. Something to consider for Ms. Sharp and Mr. Sarah. Now, this is a big elephant in the room, and I just read an article how the mayor of Portage is going to his planning commission and to the council about legislation regarding possible moratoriums or advancement of data centers. It's a big elephant in the room that we need to have a discussion with the administration with, and we just can't continue to act like it's not there. There are major concerns about Senate Bill 424 from the session before last about if these centers come, how NIPSCO and GENCO will transfer that cost on to the people. So we gotta have some honest, open dialogue. And when I brought Sam Carpenter here, one thing that he said, and I really loved this presentation because he was basically neutral, telling the Common Council that we have the power to create a data center ordinance to shape how this will look. If we're going to do a moratorium for a certain time, if not, it's something that we need to discuss, and it's going to need to be a partnership between the Common Council, the administration, and the Planning Commission. So I'm hoping that we can have that discussion. Me and Councilman Williams was talking about some of the things we want to see done before we transition, and we got about 7 months, and we're hoping that's one thing that we can do, because a lot of people are, and I'm going to tell you, 2019 is going to be here before we know it. That local income tax option is going to shift from the county and is going to shift to the Common Council. And the Common Council is going to be left to not doing a lit, or they're going to have to serve a local income tax, because in 2019 that's going to shift from the county to the local and town councils. And understandably, people may agree or disagree, but the mayor of Hobart, the mayor of Portage, LaPorte, a lot of these people, because of what our governor and the legislature did with the very dismal return on property taxes that people will get from Senate Bill 1, people are scrounging now trying to figure out how they are going to provide basic city services. So regardless if we agree or disagree, we have to do something and cannot wait till the last minute. Thank you, Madam Chair. But excellent job, Mr. President and Ms. Sharp, on the hard work that you all are doing. And I know that you have a plan to strategically kind of move this into this area. But a lot of people are asking because we have a lot of property in Gary, and people are saying it could be useful, it can't be useful, it just really depends. But that conversation needs to happen, and we cannot wait till the last minute. Thank you, Madam President.
Okay.
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to know, just two questions. You said the minimum house and the minimum lot size. Do you know what they are? Can you give me those numbers?
Yes, sir. R1 is our new designation for single-family, small lot, detached homes. The minimum lot width is 25 feet. The minimum building square footage is 900 square feet. The minimum side yard standards is 3 feet per side, with the front yard setback of 25 feet and a rear yard setback of 10 feet. And then also the gross building floor area of the lot shall not exceed 40%. It's on page 47 of the new code book.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Move for vote. Roll call.
Councilman Halliburton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy,
Yes.
Councilwoman Latham,
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver,
Yes.
Councilman Washington,
Yes.
Councilman Whittington,
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
and President Caldwell.
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 8-0.
With a vote of 8-0, CPO 2026-16 passes.
Madam President, it's pending ordinances and resolutions on third and final.
Ordinance and resolutions on second reading.
CPO 2026-17, an ordinance establishing additional appropriation in the police donation fund, sponsored by Mayor Eddie Melton, City of Gary, Shanika Beck, Controller, and the Gary Police Department. Would you like to read? Yes, please. And CPO 2026-18, an ordinance revising the 2026 Finance Department general salary budget, sponsored by Mayor Eddie Melton, City of Gary, Shanika Beck, Controller.
Councilman.
Madam President,
Yes.
I move to hear CPO 2026-17 and 2026-18. I'm not setting the time right now, am I? Never mind.
That's you.
Do the 26. Unless you
Next Tuesday. Oh.
I
we
could,
got one
I
of
could do
these
next
in.
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah, I
on
could do next
26th?
Tuesday. All right. We have anybody else on that day? Want to do 5 o'clock?
It's your call.
Okay. At 5 p.m. Tuesday, May 26th, here at the Public Safety Building.
We have, CPO 2026-17 and 18 with a committee meeting scheduled for May the 26th at 5 p.m. and a public meeting June the 2nd at 6 p.m.
June 2nd.
Roll call?
Councilman Halliburton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy,
Yes.
Councilwoman Latham,
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver,
Yes.
Councilman Washington,
Yes.
Councilman Whittington,
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
and President Caldwell.
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 8-0.
With a vote of 8-0, we have, a committee meeting scheduled and a public hearing scheduled. Report from city officials.
Good evening, Madam President, City Council members. Just again, on behalf of Mayor Melton, we just thank you guys for your continued partnership. It is getting ready for our summer, as Councilwoman Latham has just stated, that this Friday is the official opening for all of our city parks. We are enjoying asking everybody to come out. We will be making sure all the parks are ready. We have made sure the grass is cut, the boat launch is ready to go, that we have beach patrol and lifeguards on duty, that we have clean facilities for the pavilions and rentals. Our goal was to try to have the driving range done by Friday, but hopefully once the company that's doing the concrete slab for the range is finished, we do have all of the trees cut and all of the dead trees removed from that area. If you haven't gone, taken a look, it's very beautiful, nice and clean. The entire Gleason Park golf course is in fact cut. So we've been just working hard to try to make sure our parks team and our general services team, along with contractors who have assisted us to get it nice and ready. all of the lights. We have been repairing all of those street lights, traffic lights throughout the city. We're going to continue to make sure that infrastructure is ready for this summer. Be on the lookout for an upcoming video that will talk about just some of the state laws that are changing in regards to curfews for our young adults and our young children. So we want to make sure people are informed about the state laws that exist. We thank the council for assisting in that video as well, for those who participated, as well as we're getting ready for our June festival. We are excited. We may have some more special announcements to come, but we are just really excited about all the things that are going on, whether it's Food Truck Friday, Wind Down Wednesday, our June festival, additional events that are working, our Juneteenth event, or the council's Juneteenth event in partnership, and supporting that. We're making sure that we're going to give the people of Gary something to do almost the entire summer. Also, there will be information that will come out by Tuesday of next week for all of the available summer programming for our youth that will happen right in our jewel parks. So we've partnered with some of individuals, some organizations who will provide programming in the jewel parks for our youth, as well as those organizations that exist already, like the YWCA, the Boys and Girls Club, who will in fact be open for June 1st to receive our children this summer, despite still needing some final revisions on the other sides. But the Boys and Girls Club will have summer camp this summer. So for all those that have asked, they are finished. They were in there working tirelessly to get it done and getting it all the furnishings done. So that portion will be ready as of June 1st to receive children. Outside of that, there's a lot to talk about, a lot of things still to come. We are having Jackson Block Party for anybody that did not think we were. We are. It is happening every year. So we will have the Jackson Block Party again. And so there's just a number of events that we're going to continue to provide for this great city, as well as some opportunities. There was one more thing, got a text from Gary Housing Authority. They are having their forum next Thursday, Town Hall. Please look and check their contact information, website, and things of that sort for that Town Hall forum. If you would like to attend that, it's for all of our residents, especially those who currently stay in Gary Housing, any type of development, so that you can hear about the opportunities they're trying to develop here in the city of Gary. Just continue to partner with all of our sister agencies to make sure that we're moving things forward. Any questions? Oh, and elevator. We sent out an update, but we are happy to report that parts are in the mail, shipping, and these lead times have been something, but all of the local work has been done. You can go and check it. The electrical and the phone system that needed to be added, all of that, and it has been reviewed by our state partners. So we are making sure we're checking the boxes as we go, so there's no surprises. So our goal is to have you back in City Hall here soon. All of the other elevators throughout the city are good to go, with the exception of our City Hall and the 2-passenger here at the Public Safety. 2-passenger at Public Safety are looking to be done here in the next 30 to 60 days. And so we are happy to have everything now fully in compliance, fully up to code, and safe for ADA accessibility.
Chief of Staff,
Yes, sir.
I just want to commend you on the pavement of Buchanan Street.
Buchanan,
I've received so many calls.
Thank you.
And in the 2nd District, if we can't build, we're going to beautify it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman. And that goes to thank you for your advocacy about looking at the PACER rating and making sure we are, again, using the science to decide which streets are being done. So we thank you for your advocacy and making sure that we're looking at it the correct way and highlighting those. There's more paving to be done this season. It just started. So there's a lot of paving that's going to be done. So please continue to reach out to the city, but also understand that your council persons are hard at work holding us accountable to make sure that we're paving according to what the mayor has announced in regards to that PACER rating. So as we share that information back with the council about which is starting next, we're going to continue to make sure we are focusing and using the science to decide which goes next.
Madam President? Chief of Staff, in the meantime, can you remind the public how to report a pothole?
Yes, please, yes. So when the snow melted and when winter was over, those potholes appeared. If you see a pothole, please report it in our 311 app. That's Gary 311 if you have an Android or Apple device, or you can call 219-881-1311 to also report if you do not have a device. We will take that call, we will report it, we will log it. What that does is it helps our team. They get a report every single morning and task list, and they have a crews, actually two, that are going out constantly throughout the day paving for the entire shift as far as filling potholes with hot patch. Even though we filled some potholes in the wintertime, you may have seen that pothole pop and come out. That's called a cold patch. The cold patches are just that. They're not there to stay. When you're able to tar those potholes and level them out, they are a little bit more ability, a little heavier ability to stick and actually last and actually create no hazards for driving. So as we do not have all of the funding yet to pave everything that absolutely 100% needs to be paved, we're working towards it. Our commitment is to pave or fill every pothole that we can that's in our system. And I don't have the numbers on me, but our 311 apps helps us go back and say we filled X amount, and we're in the thousands of potholes that we've been able to fill every single calendar year, that we make sure that we're holding accountable, that when someone reports it, we make sure we go back and get it done. Thank you, Madam.
Madam President, Mr. Chief of Staff, sir, where did we ship those parts from? Are they American shipped or they come from China?
They came from across seas. I won't particularly say which country or community they came from, but again, as we kind of talked about before, when we got the blessing of the council or the approval of the council to move forward because of the cost that was not budgeted, because of the outdated or the age of our city hall building and the elevator that was in there, it's not a traditional elevator size. So we can't just go and buy a off-the-shelf per se elevator. The box of the elevator was just fine. It's the motor that was over 42 years old, 42 years old, excuse me, 42 years old, all of that wiring, which makes it safe. And many people have complained that the elevator would slip or you would see it as not fully level. That did not pass inspection. In order to make it safe, we had to go and they had to custom build every single part for the motor, the roping, what they call the safety rail, so that it locks at each floor. Should something happen and the motor fails, it will not fall, it will stay at that floor. All of those mechanisms which makes it a safe and passable elevator. And so like anything else, because of the old infrastructure that we have, it takes a lot to do it. So they have to first custom build it, machine it from custom based on the sizes and specs. And then the elevator company was responsible for going out there to make sure that the measurements and everything fit. Before they didn't, because they had to correct it, because you don't want to get it here and then turn around and have to send it back. So they verified the measurements. Then after they verified the measurements, then they turn around and shipped it. You guys have seen what's going on nationally and internationally. So some of that plays a huge part into those parts getting here via boat or whatever, plane or whatever they had got here. I don't know the mechanism, but it has been a long time coming, y'all. We just thank you for your patience.
And you did an excellent job explaining that.
Yes. No,
And
thank you. You appreciate it.
Mr. Do we have a time frame how long they'll get here? We know they shipped.
Wait, so he has a date, but I don't want to jinx it, Mr. Councilman, because we already ran into just know we had a very tasteful conversation when that initial May 14th date did not hit. So we pressed hard and they got things wrapped up and out the door, and so now we just want to pray it makes it here safely with no surprises, and then once it's in the building, it's done. But in the meantime, again, we run in 2 tracks. The biggest thing is, if you notice, if you've been on a City Hall elevator, there was no phone mechanism in case of an emergency. That's a requirement by law that a new elevator will have a phone mechanism that in the case of an emergency and that expensive elevator stops, we can contact emergency personnel. So all of those things are happening, not just again to the City Hall elevator, but all of our elevators now have those mechanisms in it, including working with GPTC on their escalator at the Metro Center, which we hopefully will also be soon up. But the elevator is up at the Metro Center as well. So no problem. Thank you, sir.
Any more questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam President.
If we don't have any other business, I make a motion to adjourn.
So move.